Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Massasoit Wrestling Corner Season 2, Episode 30. The 30th episode of the season. And this is the second to last episode of the season. So, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and this is...
But still Massasoit Wrestling Corner Champion.
They didn't hear you, apparently. They didn't hear. I don't think...
Oh, well, actually, I am the Massasoit Wrestling Corner Champion, King Tut.
And, yeah, so, this is going to be the second to last episode.
Yep.
Can't believe that. Oh, you got one more episode tomorrow. And pretty much we're doing this episode because we're going to be doing the Slammy Awards tomorrow, so we're not going to have time to talk about the stuff that we want to talk about here on the Slammies. So,
right
and King Tut will be right back.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna, in case that goes off again. So I'll just continue. So yeah. So we're gonna be if you watch the video, we're gonna be talking about NXT Takeover London and the categories for the Slammy Awards, and then I think we might talk about whether or not we're gonna do something on the same format with this show, except it wouldn't be called the Massasoit Wrestling Corner because we wouldn't be going to Massasoit anymore, so we couldn't use the name. So me and Tut are going to talk about that. We'll probably talk about that at the end. So Tut says he has a story, and we usually like to kick it off with a story, but he can't tell a story right now because he's busy. So we're going to wait until yeah, I'll just talk. I'll let me think of a story. I'll think of some sort of story. Let me think. Well, today we went Christmas shopping, and we were trying to decide something to eat. Me and my sister couldn't agree on anything. She wanted to go to Panera. That was like her main thing, that she wanted to go to Panera, but I didn't want Panera because I'm not a huge fan of Panera. The only thing... Huh?
Back on.
Okay, I'm just going to finish my story, and then you can tell your story. I'm not a huge fan of Panera, so I wanted to go to there's a taco place like right near my school. We couldn't go to that though because that wasn't close enough to any of the stores for Christmas shopping. So there was this big disagreement. Eventually, I just ended up getting Five Guys, and she got Panera herself. So not an exciting story, but I didn't have a lot of time to come up with one. But Tut had time to come up with one, so let's see what Tut's story is.
Well, I went to this. Getting ready to see the Star Wars movie.
You're getting ready to see the Star Wars movie.
New one. Yep. Sold out, so I couldn't really go see it. But I'll go see it tomorrow. After I'm done doing the show, at least.
And then you're probably gonna go see it with Paige.
Hell yeah.
Yep. There you go. So he's gonna go see that with Paige, and then right from the show. So we're gonna talk now. That's the story. They're not the most exciting stories, but they're stories. It says like James is the only one that has the exciting stories. I don't know why that is, but I guess it's like
I think
the Nas is.
I don't really have anything because
You always have a story.
All right. Well,
all right.
That'll be the last time you hear that sound, by the way.
I hope so.
I just gotta finish here.
So yeah, you heard the stuff we're gonna talk about, though, right? Yeah. Well, at least you know what we're talking about.
I know what we're talking about.
Okay. So like I said, we're doing this because we're not gonna have time to do this tomorrow. So let's talk about NXT Takeover London. Did you see the whole show?
I saw the entire show.
I know.
I didn't see the entire in Austin podcast though.
I didn't see that yet though. I didn't have a chance to see it, so I'll probably just do a video myself talking about it.
We'll just talk the Takeover special, which was wasn't the best one, but
no,
it was great.
It was. I think it was great, but it wasn't. From the past two specials we've gotten, it was a letdown.
I think it's probably the worst one, but it did have a very, very strong main event.
I thought it had a strong women's matches too.
Yeah, one of them was Emma versus Asuka was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think as Nia Jax is still kind of green, I'm gonna give my chances to that. All right, so let's go through the card.
Okay. So they had a preview show that was hosted by Corey Graves, kind of going over all the matches. And it showed that Bayley video package with her struggling to get the NXT Women's title and then her struggling to defend the title, which I thought was good. And then they showed a Nia Jax video package showing her dominance on NXT so far. And then it showed the build up to the NXT tag title match. And I really liked that video package. It showed pretty much the whole time Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy were a tag team. I thought that was great.
Yep.
Which we're going to get into that because I'm not happy about that. And then it showed the build up to the main. I like the build up to the main event video package too. With when Samoa Joe turns on Balor, then they do like a sit down talking about it. And Samoa Joe even says that he's not happy about what he did, but he just had to do it. And it shows that possibly Samoa Joe just wanted the NXT title all along.
Yeah,
that's why he teamed up with them, because you see him anytime touching that NXT title, and Finn Balor says all he had to do was ask him. So I thought the preview show was good. And then we get the actual pre-show with Renee Young, Tom Phillips, and Lito on the panel. The only reason they were probably on the panel is because it was held in Connecticut. And they were in London, so they probably had to put Tom Phillips on there, which he didn't do a bad job. He's just not. I'm not a huge fan of Tom Phillips. So there you go. And the only thing that really happened is Greg Hamilton tries to interview Samoa Joe, but he's just not having it. So I thought the pre-show was pretty good though. At least it's not an hour; it's only a half an hour, because I think an hour. I always have that complaint that an hour is too long for a pre-show. I mean, that's just my only complaint. But it was only a half hour. I forgot. I'm like, wow, this is only a half hour. But pre-show, nothing to talk about. And then we get the actual show itself. I forgot to write down who was on commentary, but I believe it's the usual Rich Brennan, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. And then Triple H is in the ring. He's been doing that. He did this before. And he talked about how technically he's supposed to be injured because of what happened at TLC, but he says you're gonna have to kill me if I'm gonna miss this event, which makes sense because obviously anyone would want to be dead. But I guess they had to try to explain why he was there. I expected him to be there anyways, but and then he says this is NXT, so I thought that was good. He just came in, said what he had to say, then left. What do you think?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, at least he tried to give somewhat of an explanation about why he was there to begin with, because technically it doesn't make sense why he's there because he was just beat down by a chair.
2 days ago.
Yeah. I bet, but then it shows an awesome video package of NXT Takeover London, and I really liked the arena that they were in too. I thought that was cool. And then we get the first match on the show. We get Asuka versus Emma with Dana Brooke ringside. Great match.
This match ruled.
Yeah, it really delivered. And I thought it was great. It was a really solid match. Emma dominated a good portion of the match, and there were points in the match where anytime Emma tried to attack her, Asuka would get fired up from it, which I thought was awesome. And then one time when she did get fired up, she got slapped right in the face, which was a wicked slap, and I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then Asuka makes a comeback, and she hits some wicked strikes and kicks. And I always love that jumping arm bomb she hits out of nowhere. That's awesome. And then Emma gets her in the dilemma, and then gets her in the. I think she did the Emma sandwich, and then the first time Asuka got her in the Asuka lock, but then she ended up countering it, and Asuka accidentally bumped into the ref. So then Emma tried to cheat by using a belt that Dana Brooke handed her, but it didn't really work out.
Nope.
And then the referee thinks that she used it, but she didn't, so that he doesn't disqualify her or anything. And then eventually Emma tries to beat her with the roll-up by distraction from Dana Brooke, but she turns it into the Oscar lock, and Emma ends up tapping out. And I thought it was a really solid opening match and one of the highlights of the show. What do you think?
I really enjoyed this match.
Oh yeah,
Asuka, I think, is one of the best talents that they have in NXT.
oh yeah.
I said that from day one. From the day one I saw her wrestle. From day one, since I saw her wrestle, I thought that she was great. Man, I gotta get a better step camera.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good now. Emma is one of the is a really good talent. Like
Yep.
I think, even though she did fail on the main roster, I think that's more of a tribute to the fact that fans weren't watching NXT at that time.
And it's also just because the way they kind of booked her too. They put her with
Santino. It just, it didn't really work. I think it's like Vince heard that she was a comedy. Thought it was a more comedy segment than anything else.
yeah.
But it didn't. I think it didn't work because fans weren't familiar with NXT at that time.
That could be it too, yeah.
They were now. So I think that's the main reason why she didn't work. But it's two great talents. They work together, and I'm not surprised that they had a great match. I will give it 3.5. 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. And if it was like one of the highlights of the show, I thought it was a great way to open the show, and I think they're going to continue this and do something else because Dana Brooke backstage, when Emma's all hurt, says that she's going to teach Asuka a lesson. So I think they're going to try to continue doing something with this saga, whether it's a triple threat or whatever. So we're going to have to wait and see. Then I got to find my notes. We get Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy with Carmella versus the Mechanics for the NXT Tag Team titles.
Yep.
This was a great match. Just hurt by the finish. My opinion. Anyway. Yeah. So,
guys,
Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy come out. They do their normal opening promo. I thought it was great. They even talk about how they're going to win the NXT Tag Team titles. And I was the match was great, but I don't know if you remember I told you this, but I had been up since 4 a.m. the night before, so I kind of fell asleep doing it. So I had to kind of rewind it and watch it again the second time. Well, not that the match was born. I just my body just
gave up.
Yeah. But I did watch it again. And this was just one of those nice classic old school tag team matches, I thought. I thought it was great. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy really dominated the first half of the match, and I like the spot where Colin Cassidy caught I forget who it was because I think it was Dash. I'm just gonna say it was Dash, and threw him right into Dawson, and then Enzo Amore, and then he launched Enzo Amore over the top rope and took out the Mechanics. And I really like then the Mechanics start targeting the arm. I really like their tag team style. I think we've talked about this before, how they just target a body part and they have that old school.
It's simple. It's simple old school tag team heel stuff.
Yep. And then Colin Cassidy gets the hot tag and he starts taking everybody out, and then they go after his injured leg from what he was injured before. And then they get him in that submission move that they use technically to win the tag team titles. And Enzo Amore refuses to quit. No, Colin Cassidy refuses to quit. He's in this move for 5 minutes probably, and then eventually he does get to the rope because he just doesn't want to quit. And then they try to take him out by when they have him in the submission hold again, and I think Dawson was gonna just go off on him and take out his knee the way they did before. And then Enzo Amore pushed him off, and then Colin Cassidy hit a big boot, and Enzo Amore jumps off and does his elbow, and you think they're going to win the tag team titles there. And then Dash pulls out the Enzo Amore, and I was pissed when this happened because I thought they were going to win the tag team titles. And then Colin Cassidy gets thrown into the ring post. And at this point, Enzo Amore is the legal man, so then he tries to go off the top rope, and the mechanics hit the flapjack top code breaker, which was a great finish off like the turnbuckle, and they retained the tag team titles. No, I didn't mind the match. It was a great match. One team won. I mean, I know because they're probably Team Soft's going up on the main roster soon, but the storyline was there for them to win the tag team titles. This was the moment where they should have won them after that video package they played, after what happened on NXT the week before. They should have won the tag team titles. I just thought the storyline called for them because that would have been, and especially the way the match was being booked, they should have won the tag team titles. That's just my opinion. But what do you think?
Well, I also picked Enzo and Cass, but this match was really hard to predict.
Yeah.
I have a very different opinion than Chris. No offense, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not discounting his opinion and saying it's wrong. But
yeah.
I kind of like Dash and Dawson. I like how they're the old school. They're an old school heel tag teams. They don't do anything flashy. They just do stomps and kicks and submissions, and doesn't get a rise out of the crowd, which is what a heel's supposed to do. And do I mind the fact that Enzo Amore? I've never been a big fan of his wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I think he's charismatic as hell. But
yeah.
I don't think of him as a wrestler. I just think of him as an entertainer. He has some good stuff. He has a good tornado DDT,
which he hit that in that match. Yeah.
He has a really good drop kick, I think. But Dash and Dawson, I love their tag teams. I just really like their style of wrestling, and I love their finisher. It's a mixture of like the 3D and the code breaker.
Yeah.
Which it just looks devastating. It looks like it hurts, and everything they do, it looks like it hurts, and that's kind of my kind of wrestler. And I think they're getting set to face off against Gable and Jordan.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, I'm really high on.
I mean, if they have to win the titles, I just wish the Team Soft could have at least gotten a little bit of a win with the belts. If it didn't have to be too long.
Probably going to be only like 2 weeks, and I think that's who they're going to face off in the next NXT special. I think that's because they're the most. I think they're the most over team, and I think I think they're actually better than Team Soft in terms of the fact that I think they're more charismatic. It's hard to say, but they are. I think, my opinion, and they have a lot of better wrestling ability.
Okay.
So
I can agree with that. I just thought the storyline just called for it. That's just my. Maybe they shouldn't have built it up because they built it up like they were gonna win the tag team titles. To defend Chris, I don't think he hates this tag team.
I think he just hates the way they're booked.
Yes, but I don't think they were completely jobbers when they won the tag team titles. Like
no, they
were jobbers when they won the tag team titles. They were jobbers.
I wouldn't say that because they're not like Blake and Murphy bad. At least they beat the tag champs in the tag team tournament. They got to the semifinals and almost won. So that to me is I think that's a warranted for a tag title shot.
Yeah, and then the way they were booked like before when they were taking out Team Soft to begin with. So like Blake and Murphy were complete jobbers. Like they won one match and then all of a sudden they got a tag team title shot.
And they won that. Yeah, they only won like 2 matches, and that was including the tag title match.
Yeah.
So I just want to see Gable and Jordan get the tag titles. That's the be-all end-all for me.
Yeah. And they have to win those tag team titles too. I think they're doing like a fatal 4-way tag match next week too with Blake Murphy, Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, the Vaudevillains, and Hype Bros. And if assuming
probably the number one contender.
And I think Jason Jordan I don't think it's for number one contender, but they're probably going to go over in that match to solidify that they will going to be a future force to be reckoned with.
Yep, and I want that to happen.
Yeah.
So I'll give it 2 3/4.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah. I thought it was a little average.
Yeah. I think I just kind of mad because that they seem soft. I mean, you understand why I'm mad as long as you understand that because.
Yep.
And then the next match was Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Very good match.
Yep.
Probably Apollo Crews. No, not Apollo. Probably Baron Corbin's best match. On the NXT. My opinion, though. And I thought Baron Corbin looked really strong in the match. He was talking smack to Apollo Crews, talking about how he should have just stayed in the Indies, but he doesn't say the Indies, but pretty much that's what he talks about. Talking about how he shouldn't have even come out out of the United States. And Apollo Crews looked really strong in the match too. He had Baron Corbin ended up kicking out of that moonsault, which really shocked me. I was shocked about that. And then eventually the match ends when Apollo Crews tries to go for his power bomb, but Baron Corbin counters into the end of days and gets the victory. I was kind of mad about this, but shocked about it. But I think I might understand where they're going with it. So maybe this is why they put Baron Corbin over, because we'll talk about that when we get to the main event.
Yep.
Because that's the only reason I think Baron Corbin won. I don't know and it did get him some heel heat because he got really booed. So, and he's been losing a lot of matches lately too. He lost to Samoa Joe. He's lost to he lost the NXT Tag Team Classics. So, I guess they had to give him something. I just kind of.
I don't agree with him going over Cruz.
I don't really kind of agree with it either.
Not a fan.
The only reason I think he won is because of the result of the main event, pretty much. That's probably the only reason he won. And
I'm not a fan. I'd rather have it be Cruz versus Balor again, but that's just me.
I think because they have more of a reason to fight because the match didn't end properly. So and I feel like if a Baron Corbin Finn Balor match wouldn't be bad, it just would be mediocre at best. And I just don't think Baron Corbin's ready for an NXT title shot. He's just not.
Corbin is very green.
Yeah.
He still is after a year and a half. And I don't know. He doesn't look like he doesn't have the confidence in himself that he's going to do well. At least it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. I hope maybe they have another match and Apollo Crews goes over in that match. But, yeah. Because I don't know because they can't really, it's just, I don't really agree with them going over. The match was fine, though. It was a good match.
I'll give it 2 stars. It's an average. Just average. My average rating, 2 stars.
And then
the low point of the show.
Yeah.
This
had another Sami Zayn video package, and it shows him and it says he's coming back next week, and it shows pretty much his whole career in NXT, his debut, when he won the title, when he went on Raw. I thought it was great. He already technically returned, though, because there's a video of him cutting a promo, talking about how he thanks all the fans for coming. So, and he has a new buzz cut. So technically, he already returned, but they're probably not going to film that till next week.
Yep.
And I'm really excited for his return, and I can't wait to see what he does. He's probably gonna have one more month on NXT, then he'll go up on the main roster, be in the Rumble like we talked about. So I can't wait to see him come back because I think it'd be a nice breath of fresh air with him back on NXT because we haven't seen him in a while. So
nope.
What do you think?
I'm excited for his return. I've been a fan of El Generico for years. I've been watching him. I watched him in ROH since 2009, and God, no one can stop this guy. All right, continue on. Next segment.
Yeah. Okay. Nia Jax gets interviewed, and she goes to talk about how she's going to destroy Bayley, and then she has a face-off with Asuka. So that's probably building up to a match between them two in the future. And then she goes and continues what she says. I don't really remember what she said, not going to lie. So, and then we get the NXT Women's Title match: Bayley versus Nia Jax.
The low light.
Why don't you talk about the match? Because if you
as people know, I'm a big fan of Bayley. So I'm not gonna put this match on her. But good God, is Nia Jax slow?
Yeah.
And green and is very awkward. A lot of wasted steps, as I noticed with her.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. This Bayley tried to get a good match out of her, but
it was just passable at best.
The two didn't really mesh well. I can say like this is probably the first official dud in terms of the NXT women's matches. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because this is like then when the story was there, because I get what they were going for with the story. They were trying to have Bailey get destroyed in the match.
Like they're trying to do Kong versus Gail Kim, but the difference is Kong has wrestled for years before she went to TNA and started doing stuff with Gail Kim.
Yeah.
Nia Jax has only wrestled for about 7 months.
Yep.
And oh man, this match is just ugly.
Yeah. So Bailey, the stuff Bailey pulled, I thought the Swanton she did was cool.
Yeah.
Because that was a move we never seen her do before, and
Well,
and then the Nia Jax pretty much just kind of kills Bailey in this match. Leg drop after leg drop, which is pretty much the only offense she really had in the match. She didn't really have much offense.
Yeah.
And I think they threw Nia Jax at her because they really didn't have anybody else for Bailey to go against.
Asuka. I want her versus Asuka.
I think they need to go down in that direction. But it was a continuation, destruction after destruction, and then Bailey gets her in a choke towards the end of the match. She hits her on her 3 times, and the 3rd time she ends up making a Nia Jax tap out. And good move, because I think if Nia Jax had won this match, probably everyone would have hated on it. So
yeah, so Bailey wins. That's a plus. That's the only reason I'm saving this from giving the dud rating.
Yeah,
which is 0. I give this match 1 star.
Yeah, probably 1, maybe like a 1.5, because
half a star.
Yeah,
this is definitely the biggest dud in the NXT women's history.
I think Nia Jax needs a little bit more improvement, and if she improves a little bit more, maybe she can in the future hold the belt, but not yet. So
yeah, main event time. Main event: Samoa Joe trying to take on Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. This match ruled.
Match of the night.
This was the match of the night, as I expected to be.
Balor's entrance though. Awesome. He comes out.
That's what I like about him doing the demon stuff. Not every single time he comes out, because whenever he does, it makes it special.
Yep. I feel like once he gets on the main roster, it's going to be ruined, because they're going to do it every pay-per-view, and they're going to ruin it. So
they'll eventually ruin it. But
NXT, I don't think they'll ruin it, because
Triple H is running it.
That, and I don't think he'll do it every special, because he didn't do it on the last special. So, and the special's on all the time, so that's what makes it special.
Every few months, that's what makes it special. Well, yeah.
But once he gets to the main roster and starts doing this on pay-per-views, it will get old real fast.
Yep. This match was great.
I can't even explain it. Balor was really aggressive in this match. When he hit the double stomp on the steps right in the beginning of the match, awesome. And then when Samoa Joe dropped him on the floor with I believe a Samoan drop, and Samoa Joe killed him throughout the beginning portions of the match. He hit a suicide dive on him, and Samoa Joe, they made him look like really strong out there. And then Finn Balor made his comeback. He hit that little somersault dive over the top rope. And he hit the double stomp. There were portions when Samoa Joe got the choke on him. The first time Balor was able to get out of it. The second time he flipped over and did the double stomp, which I thought was great.
Yep.
Finn Balor did like a version of the coup de grace, except he did it on his back. And the sim blades he was hitting, it was just a great match overall. I can't even call spot for spot.
Did he do a brain buster?
You mean muscle buster?
No, Joe. Did Finn hit the bloody Sunday?
I think he did. I think he did. Yeah.
The bloody Sunday, awesome.
And then
stab at this.
And then Samoa Joe hit the muscle buster on him. Great. Yep. And then eventually Finn Balor, the fighting on the top rope, because Joe tries to hit his muscle buster, but then eventually Balor hits the coup de grace for the win and retains the title. So great main event, great way to end the show.
I give it 4 3/4.
Yep. And
Quarter.
Afterwards, they were all they were all bloody. I think Finn Balor was bleeding a little bit, but I couldn't really tell because of the face paint. But Joe was bleeding.
Yeah.
And they even had to be checked on by medical
It added to the show. It added to the show.
Oh yeah. So I thought it was great. What are your final thoughts on the show?
I will give it thumbs. I'll say thumbs in the middle, pointing up.
Yep.
Because of the main event. That's on the opening was good. The main event was good. The tag match was okay.
I thought the tag match was good. I did like the tag match. I just like the show.
Cruz and Corbin was meh, and Bailey and Nia Jax nah. So I'll give thumbs in the middle, pointing up. I give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
Yeah,
solid 7.
I think the fans. We didn't even talk about the fans were great all night too.
Yep, I expect that because London's a really great wrestling community.
Yeah. So that's also kind of made the show great too with the fans. I think I was a bit disappointed since they were in London, so I expected them to pull out some more things. So
yeah,
I would say the show was still great, but it disappointed me a little bit.
So the final score,
I'd say I would give it a 7.
3-2, and I retain my champion.
Because the only match
we agreed on was Joe and Balor. I picked Balor to win.
And I picked Joe. Yep. I mean, I was gonna go with a Balor direction. One, I figured Joe was gonna win, and then we had to disagree on something. So I figured I'd go with that match because that was the match that made the most sense to disagree on.
Yep. But you put up a good effort. You came close.
I probably came the closest out of anybody, but
yeah, you did. You've been pretty dominant as champion.
So now you get to keep the belt going into
the Rumble.
Yeah. So next time, and because there will be no more title defenses, pretty much, because unless we do that thing that I talked about earlier, but because tomorrow's gonna be the last episode, and we're not gonna talk about really nothing tomorrow. So,
no, we're talking about the award show, which unfortunately I can't get a suit for, but hey.
Yeah, I don't think I probably can't either. So it's optional. So
I'll just stick with my usual attire of the sweatshirt, my classic sweatshirt, my championship on my shoulder, and everything. So unfortunately,
by the way, because technically I can bring this up because everybody pretty much knows. You and James are going to be good to do the show tomorrow, right? Just so that way.
Yeah, I have zero problem with him.
Yeah.
With him on the show. So.
Yeah. And I want to make sure everybody knows that they don't have any problems right now. Because I was trying, because there's some people that, think that you guys hate each other. They don't have any problems. They just have disagreements about, so.
Yeah, I think that we should probably just like I said before, I will be professional. I will show up and I'll do the show for the loyal public to watch the show. But yeah, I have no problem with James. If all he has to do is just come and talk to me. That's all I gotta say.
Yep. All we have to do too is stick with they're not rules because but stick with those common sense things, and I think
stick with the guidelines, people.
I don't even think we talked about that. So from now on, by the way, when somebody's speaking, they can't get interrupted because then that's what ruined it. And from now on, this is more. I know we just put this on camera, but this is more of an Ori thing. If you don't want to talk about a pay-per-view or a show, then you leave. Then you pretty much leave. Now, there's going to be times, obviously, that we don't want to talk about a pay-per-view. But if you're gonna be a huge baby about it and continuously interrupt us and just talk about what has nothing to do with the pay-per-view, then you just leave. So,
all right. So,
I just want to make sure we talked about that because James is going to be on the show tomorrow. So,
all right,
let's talk about the Slammies. So since WWE is doing their Slammy Awards and they've already announced categories and nominees for them, which, by the way, some of them already suck because they should not have everybody have a chance to be a Superstar of the Year because they're pretty much saying that Heath Slater can be Superstar of the Year. So
we have restrictions to ours.
Huh?
We have restrictions to ours, and by the way, I will have to kind of duck out early tomorrow.
Okay.
I have to go. I have to be somewhere for 3:30, so I probably should duck out by 3.
All right. So I guess we'll figure out a way where, because I don't think we're going to be able to finish the show by 3:30 with all the categories we have. So,
I'll probably be out there by 3. So if that's okay, I'll be on for the first hour. But
okay. So
I don't need to go to class.
All right. So me and Tut have been talking about this for what, about a week or two? I think we've talked about
doing the Slammies.
Yeah, about the nominees, how we're gonna set this up. I think this has been the most planned video on the corner. I think we've been talking about this for about 2 weeks.
I think about a month now.
Yeah, but we decided we wanted to do this because it's the Slammies, and we wanted to do our version of the Slammies. Now, this isn't just going to be WWE. Obviously, for me, it's going to be WWE and TNA because those were the only companies I watch. But you have any professional wrestling in the world that you've seen. Could be Ring of Honor, New Japan, Lucha Underground.
There's going to be a lot of Lucha Underground on my list, probably.
Yeah. What happens is everyone's going to each... I don't know if we should all each do a nomination because it's going to be tough because then the show will really run long.
We'll just pick one person, all right?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking maybe we can all step up, but if maybe some of these awards we won't say on camera, we'll post on the Facebook page because some of these awards aren't that. I don't know. I'll think of something, but the nominees, we're not going to say all the nominees are going to be different. But if there ever is a case too where somebody has the same nominees, then maybe we should share the nominees at least before the show.
Yeah.
Because I think because it's going to be tough to plan out if you don't do it that way. I don't even have all my nominees yet, not going to lie. So I have some, but not all of them. Because some of this stuff, when you actually sit down and think about it, it's tough to think. Like when you actually sit down and try to type out 6, because some of them you can't. It's tough to come up with 6.
Just say one, all right? We'll just say one. That's the winner.
Yeah. And we'll say which ones we voted. So these are what the categories are going to be. We have best faction of the year, worst faction of the year, best babyface of the year, worst babyface of the year, best heel of the year, worst heel of the year, and here's one, worst booked opportunity of the year. Now that one's going to be a tough one because a lot of WWE really screwed up with that. We can't really.
I already know mine.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. Best booked opportunity of the year, which that one's going to be tough too because they haven't had a lot of great ones. Most underrated wrestler of the year and the most overrated wrestler of the year. Best finisher of the year, worst finisher of the year, debut of the year. So the question I have with this: so do we count when they debut on the main roster, but they've been on NXT? Because I'm not really sure about that.
No. I don't think so.
Okay, then that one's gonna be tough for me because no, but we'll try it out.
Raw debut in the main roster, all right? We'll just count those, all right?
All right. Return of the year. Biggest flop of the year, which is biggest superstar flop of the year. I might change that one. I'm not sure. Worst match of the year. Best match of the year. Now this one, I'm not sure if we should keep. Most likely get fired next year. Should we keep that one or?
Adam Rose.
Do we keep that one or?
Yeah, we can.
Superstar to look out for next year. Superstar that we think is going to be really big next year. Tag team of the year. Worst tag team of the year. Woman of the year. Worst woman of the year. Best feud of the year. Huh?
I know Chris's worst tag team of the year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Best feud of the year, worst feud of the year, best theme song of the year, worst theme song of the year. What about headline of the year? Should we keep that one?
Though there's a lot of headlines, so that's a nice juicy topic.
Breakout style of the year, letdown of the year, letdown style of the year. So pretty much, because I don't know what the opposite is. So this one's like, huh?
That'd be bust.
Yeah. Lust?
Bust. B-U-S-T. A bust.
Okay, bust for the year. So this is anyone that's been new. Best commentator / announcer of the year. I figured I'd just combine those into one because they're both kind of the same thing, really. So,
there's so few.
And then worst commentator / worst announcer of the year. Best pay-per-view of the year. Huh?
There's a lot of them.
Best pay-per-view of the year. Worst pay-per-view of the year. Best catchphrase of the year. Worst catchphrase of the year. Worst male, and then the last one. Worst male wrestler of the year and best male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, that is a lot of people.
And those are the categories. So this is going to be an interesting episode tomorrow. Can't wait for it.
Should we start doing our plug stuff?
One more thing. So I mean, technically, you don't have to have an answer by tomorrow. But what do you think? So are we going to continue the corner off when we're not doing the corner, but call it something else? But it'll be pretty much the same thing. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably just. I think what I'm thinking. This is just an idea. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Is we do the same thing, and since we're not going to be together all the on school, maybe we'll try to make it once a week where best works for our schedules. And if there's ever like a pay-per-view or something, we'll do it. We'll try to make it twice a week. But that's even a stretch.
Pay-per-view though between that time. I think the only time that we have a
pay-per-view is the Rumble, and we'll be back at school but before the Rumble starts. So I know we start on the 22nd, right?
Yeah,
and that's a Friday.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's
pretty
Friday, right? Rumble.
Huh?
That's the Friday right before the Rumble.
So pretty much the first episode we'll be back for, because I think that was when we'll come back. We'll come back on that Friday.
Yep, we'll be reviewing the Rumble.
And you'll be defending your belt right on the first episode. So it's like
I will retain. And you know the best part of the whole thing is, if I retain my belt, I will be the longest reigning Massasoit Wrestling Corner champion.
Let me think, because I think James might still have, because he won it in April. I think
he won it. No, he won it in May. Yeah, he won it in April.
Because of Extreme Rules.
May.
Technically,
June,
he wasn't the. But
August,
technically, we had some problems. I think technically he won it in May because we had some problems getting the belt because of Ori's situation. So I think it was May.
Okay, so the rest of May, June, July, August, September, 4 months.
So I think and you've held it since
October.
So October, November, December, January,
and most of February.
Well, but if you and I think James, I don't know exactly when James won it. I think he won it in like I think he won it on like May 14th or something. So you'll probably maybe when we come back, when we come back, you'll be the longest reigning champion. Well,
no, I think
close.
I think I'll be tied with him because the Rumble's on the 24th. So I will be tied with him for 4 months.
But you were better. Let's be honest, though. You were a better champion than he was because you actually defended the thing. So
I defended the belt and I've successfully retained my belt.
Yes.
How many times have I'm going to count TLC. So
okay. But the belt wasn't on the line at TLC.
I know, but I had the best record.
You egomaniac.
Hey, you know, I call myself a king.
You're just like you're like the Triple H of this show.
The character is that I'm a cocky son of a bitch, and isn't that kind of the whole thing?
I guess.
People don't like it. Too bad.
I'm
a heel champion.
You successfully retained it at. Did you win it at? You won it at. When did you actually win it? Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell, I won it. And then I successfully defended at Survivor Series, and then this World Series NXT special.
Yep. So positively successfully defended at the Rumble, depending on how that goes down. So
think about it. I've won the past 4 major
no
things.
one's ever done that. There's been a tie, but it's still a win. So
yep, still a win for me. So let's see here. I successfully I won the number 1 contendership for London at that giant the giant thing with Bound for Glory and
yep.
MSG. Then I won at Hell in a Cell. I tied for first. I came in first, and I came in first again. So yeah, I've won 5 straight times.
That's it. You're probably the best champion on the show.
Yep. Yeah, people don't like that, but I have to return the belt, by the way, to Steve tomorrow.
So are you still gonna hold the belt tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm still gonna hold the belt. After the show's over, I have to give it to Steve, which I understand. Like, I really don't have any other use for it other than the show.
Yeah. I bet. Do you ever use it other than the show or no?
No, it just sits in my room. It sits right on my desk.
And you know what the thing is too? You're the only champion that's actually been able to hold a belt. When remember when James had it before you did? He never got to touch that belt. He never touched it.
Well, he did, but it was when he had to turn it over to me.
That's it. And then Owen disappeared when he won the belt.
Yeah, he was not on the like. How long did he hold the belt? Like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just about, give or take.
Yep. So yeah, and he wasn't on the show once.
No, he wasn't.
So then when he lost the belt, he never could hand it over to James because Steve never had the belt and he was never around.
Yep, and then Steve, and then finally we won. Then I won the belt. The day right after my 19th birthday, I won the belt.
So, that's an early birthday present for you.
You mean a late birthday present? It was the day after.
Sorry.
It's all right.
But anyhow, so also too, like in the beginning, we're just gonna talk about some good moments of this season, which there's a lot of good moments of this season.
Yep.
So be prepared to come up with some things. So we'll each say about 2 or 3. Huh?
Shaq Soda.
Yeah, cheap plug. But
yeah.
So we're each gonna say like about 2 or 3 moments, not too many, since we're gonna be running on time, a little bit of time. So
yeah. I will say. Should I do my plugs now?
Yeah, we can do plugs now. We're done. We're just gonna talk about nothing now. So.
Yep. All right. Watch the Football Reporters. Me and Chris will be doing our show tomorrow. That's the last show that we held at Massasoit. We will preview all the matchups for Week 14. We'll be reviewing the game that's currently on my TV right now, the Rams and the Bucks. We'll talk about fantasy, your tips for fantasy football if you're in your championship games, you need some help deciding who you should start. All the stuff. It's getting crazy in the NFL. We're getting close to the end, people. So check it out. Check out that show.
Hey, and if you're a wrestling fan, the positive, the thing is, once NFL ends, now WWE is going to have to
step up their game.
Yep. So
and then football ends in 2 weeks.
So WWE either that we're going to find out if it was really Monday Night Football, which we know it wasn't. But if we're going to WWE
on the decline before that just helped it.
Yeah. So that we're going to find out if WWE will be able to step up, actually prove it was just nothing but an excuse. But it probably won't. They'll probably prove us, right, like always, because we're always right when it comes with WWE.
We're always negative on the show, aren't we?
Hey, there's negativity and just being honest. Sometimes we have to be. Sometimes let's be honest with you. Everything I just said is true.
Yep. Shaq agrees with us.
And then you can check out the Retro Wrestling Review series. We started that about 2 weeks ago. We missed an episode this week because I was watching London, so me and James are going to talk about what we're going to do next week. And Tut's somewhat a part of that too. He'll probably not really. Anymore.
Even though it was kind of even though it was my idea to do the retro wrestling stuff, but
yeah, it was my idea to do the show itself. The reason why I started that show is because it didn't really work out doing it on the Massasoit Wrestling Corner because it was really weird. So
yeah, I want to review a bad show though, like a historically bad one. You know why?
If I don't even know because it's going to be probably tough for James to do the show because of his technical problems. And make sure that you check out. I guess I got to plug James's channels. Wayne with Youth Wrestling. The first episode is up. And it's a really good episode, so check it out. Make sure to check out his other channel, which is called James Hebert. He does a lot of Titantrons for wrestlers and all that stuff. So there's things for wrestling fans and non-wrestling fans out there because he does a lot of vocal voiceovers. Does he have any other channels? No, he doesn't.
I don't know.
Check out my own talking.
I forgot to mention. My other stuff.
Oh, what?
I'll let you finish.
On the Talkinator, I'm going to be coming back with that channel after school's over. I haven't had a lot of time to post. And CM Brothers, I'm going to do the same thing with that. And then this channel, obviously, and the corner. To check out all the stuff with the corner. If you want to binge watch a bunch of episodes before tomorrow, that's fine. You can do that. It'll probably take about you probably wouldn't finish it all by tomorrow, actually. You probably wouldn't.
Yep.
Then that's it, I think.
Wait, I gotta plug one more thing. Watch the Unoriginal Podcast. My Unoriginal Podcast channel. Where me and my friend Dave, we talk about everything about movies and everything else. We just posted our first episode where we talked about Star Wars Episode 4. And soon we'll be talking about Episode 5 in about a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of Facebook pages. Check out all the Facebook pages of those shows I just talked about because I'm not going to add you on Facebook anymore because I don't know the fans personally. So you go on there to keep in contact with me.
Yep.
And then Pro Football Reporter's Facebook page, too. Even though I don't know how updated that is.
Is it I'm not updated anything on that. Actually, I created the page. I still haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, I at least update my pages, so
I'm right behind because I'm never home.
You're always out and about because he has a life.
it's like I have no life. That's why I put stuff on. That's why I put stuff on Facebook.
Oh,
no. I admit that as a joke. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna end off the show, and then we're not. I mean, if you're gonna stay on because we're gonna talk about stuff for tomorrow. Yep. But we're gonna end off the show. Make sure to tune in tomorrow because it's gonna be our last show. It's gonna be a really special show. I hope it ends off in a good terms. We'll have to wait and see, but that's pretty much it, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.